Well, good evening, and thanks for joining us here on SRN. Hope you guys had a great week off and had some full bellies in the process. But we are back here tonight and live from Richmond, Virginia. Just a few more guys to get out there left to qualify. A nice field here tonight. I'm Greg Olenek, joined by Nick Halda. Nick, welcome to the booth once again, and hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Looking forward to a good race here tonight. Had a great one where Kyle Benson won last week in the Xfinity Series.
Absolutely, at the action track here in Richmond, shaking off that turkey nap, getting ready to hop back in the cars, hop back here in the booth, and it's an interesting time right now in the season. Got a couple races here for the holiday break, so a little quick sprint here. These guys want to make sure they're getting good finishes, not being a place like I'm at in the Xfinity where I think I've burned all of my drop weeks already. So, and this track here is going to produce a lot of side-by-side action, so we should have a good race tonight.
I think it'll be a great race. So let's go ahead and check out those standings here in the Buttkicker Cup Series. Ryan Johnson out in the lead here, 92-point cushion after last week's race at Texas. But Reese Schaefer closely following behind, still yet to get that win here in Season 4. 5 points back. Joseph Causey's teammate tied with him there. Seth Berger, Ed Shearer, all with wins there, rounding out the top five. That cut line, though, starting to get pretty dicey for a few guys. Dalton Tucker, though, is going to fall below these standings, as I believe he has dropped out due to other commitments in his life. So a few guys going to move up here, but this is going to start changing here in the next couple of weeks once those drop weeks that you mentioned take effect.
Absolutely. So you see right now, Johan is just 4 points above Aaron Gerwitz. We'll see him move up, but there's guys right behind him that, that gap starts getting bigger and bigger, and then you start getting more than one race away from that cut line, and it starts getting real dicey for some of these drivers.
Yeah, so Seth Berger now with that new sticker next to his name after getting that win in Texas last week. Let's check out those team scores from last week and that monumental matchup between Tank Racing and Gear Up Motorsports. Both teams heading into that week 5-0. Tank Racing coming away with the win. Phoenix Virtual going to win over Bobby Anderson. Yellow Stripe going to get the W over Rat Pack. That was a close one there. And JW Racing going to get the W from the bye. So taking a look at those standings here, after 6 weeks, Tank Racing sweeps the board after their first 6 matchups here and sit at 6-0. Gear Up there in second. They would advance if the regular season ended today. They're at 5-1, but followed closely by Phoenix Virtual Racing there at 4-2, JW at 3-3, and Bobby Anderson also there at 3-3. Yellow Stripe and Rat Pack going to try and catch up and make some noise here this week to maybe start making a push towards the playoffs. But here's a look at those matchups, Nick, and Gear Up going up against RPR, an important week for Rat Pack Racing. They're going to have a tough bout with the 5-1 team there out of Gear Up Motorsports. Phoenix Virtual Racing up against JW. This is probably the best matchup of the week here, and a really important matchup here. PVR could go to 5-2, really set themselves up for a good run. JW needs to get over that 500 hump. Yellow Stripe and Bar, they're going up against each other. And Tank, well, they're going to move on to 7-0 with the bye this week.
Really impressive start by Tank going to 7-0, and Gear Up is going to be hungry after scoring the second most points last week, but fortunately they lost to Tank. They're going to be hungry, and like you said, PVR, JW, PVR trying to open up that gap on JW a little bit, where JW can jump up into at least a tie in the standings, the wins and losses there against PVR.
Yep. So every matchup gonna matter here once it comes down to week 13. Well, actually, it'll be week 18 for the team guys here. But got to give a quick shout out to Buttkicker, as we always do here on the SRN Buttkicker Cup Series. Go ahead and check them out if you're looking for a nice little gift for your sim racer in your life. They've got everything that they could possibly want. It's a great piece of equipment here. And also, got to give a quick shout out to TJ's Team Foundation over at morethanAcape.org. Today was Giving Tuesday, so why not go ahead and head over to their website, like I said, morethanAcape.org. Help out these families that are battling pediatric cancer. So looks like they are starting to grit up out there, Nick, and why don't we check out the starting lineup for tonight's race here in Richmond, Virginia. Seth Berger We were watching him in practice and qualifying, looking like he's got a fast hot rod after last week's win at Texas. Timothy Latham there sitting outside pole, though. He wants to get up here and make some noise. Causey and McAvoy, that's your second row. With Thomas Toomey and Scott Healy, that's row number 3.
And in row number 4, Drew Ballesteros. On the outside is Johan Seminario. And then in ninth is Phoenix Virtual Racing's Scott Kalal. Outside of him will be Ryan Johnson. And next row, Randy Nichols from JW Racing. And Lane Hosler from Bobby Anderson Racing.
Yeah, row 7 is going to be Adrian Schumacher as well as Emerson Ardon there out of Tank Racing. Brad Herman, Reese Schaefer, that's going to be row number 8. With Justin Rideout and Robert Norfleet in that 9th row. Rounding out the top 20 here, it's going to be Aaron Gerwitz, who almost came away with that win last week, or 2 weeks ago, at Texas, and Byron McDonald there out of Bobby Anderson Racing. So there you see the iRacing pace car getting these guys off the grid here and moving as it's going to get down to business here quickly. Who you picking here tonight, Nick?
Oh, I think I'm going to go with the 88 Akazi. He looked real strong and consistent there in practice. Impressive lap there by Berger to get the pole, but I think I'm going to go guys starting in 3rd at Joseph Causey.
All right, I'm going to take the points leader here tonight. I'm going Ryan Johnson here in the 43 to get things done and come away with his 2nd win on the season. So looking like they're going to keep the pace car out there because probably a good idea here at a short track. You don't want to just run down the backstretch and get going here. So, yeah, had a little more time for those picks. But, yeah, I think Ryan Johnson comes away with it here tonight. But a nice little field here, 33 cars. We had 42 last week, 2 weeks ago. I'm going to say that all week. I'm just going to warn you here tonight. 2 weeks ago with the Xfinity cars here at Richmond, 7 cautions, so not a bad race for those guys. 33 here in these 7th-gen cars. I think we're going to have a good little race here, maybe some long green runs here at Richmond tonight.
That'd be great to see, until the field spreads out. I tell you what, 42 cars feels like 100 out there, and 37 is going to feel the same way as we get ready to start this thing. And you'll see these guys bunch up big time going into 1 and 2.
Yeah, and as they cross that Geico restart zone there, the Silverback Tax Solutions green flag comes out here at Richmond.
And trouble already. As we said, they might bunch up going into 1 and 2, and there are cars around backwards on the wall there, and there it is. Finally, the caution came out late.
That's Blair Holloman, one of those drivers involved, and I'm seeing Brandon Domain possibly as well. Oh, something else further on up, Aaron Gerwitz. I see Byron McDonald also involved. I think Corey Saucier. Man.
Did that late? Was it just me, or did it seem like it took a while for that caution to come out? Were some guys maybe expecting caution, some guys weren't, and maybe an issue with stacking up as well? I might have a few things to take a look at here.
Yeah, I have no clue, and that's exactly what we're going to do with the admin box rec replay. So this is going to be Blair Holloman here in the 10 machine, just outside of Dave Fuge in the 4. He's got the 7. The 7 gets into him. That's Joshua Balliet, but some heavy braking there.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a checkup in front of him. Somebody got loose to the inside, a couple cars up, and it looked like that kind of stacked up the field right there. I haven't caught a number on that car.
I think that was the 80 of Alonzo King.
So I think King may have got a little loose there, and some guys saw it. Some guys maybe their view was blocked by the car in front of them. I think that's what caused this initial contact and what drew out the yellow. That's a heck of a job by King to not loop it there going into 1.
Yeah, and then we saw an incident further down the racetrack here.
The 35 looks like he got into the wall. That's a tough thing about this track, especially coming off of 2. It's real easy to get loose and spin it, but it's just as easy to get on throttle too soon, and that wall will just jump out and grab you. And I think the 35 is a little bit high on exit.
The 45 gets into him.
Yeah, the 35 was checking up, so he didn't get into the wall, and the 45 unfortunately got into him. So the 35 was about a half a lane higher than everybody else, and that caused that wall to creep up on him just a little bit faster than what he would have liked.
Well, like you said, a lot to unravel here early on, and man, quickly under yellow here in this thing. But just like that, a new leader, Timothy Latham. He's got the lead from this thing. Seth Berger started on the pole, and just like that, the 5 is leading the laps here early on. So right where Timothy Latham wants to be in clean air here at a short track.
And what probably happened there is he had the outside, so I imagine, coming off of 3 and 4, he was able to get on throttle a little bit faster, and just may have had that nose out in front when they hit the timing zone when the yellow came out.
So yeah, it's gonna be a long night if we got to do 160 laps like this. So hopefully they get it sorted out here. A lot of guys still on pit road, one of which is Corey Saucier and Blair Holloman also down there. They've had some extensive time. Blair has been on the pit road for 2 minutes. He is already 2 laps down. So that's going to be tough to come back from here, especially if we do start turning some green flag laps. That's going to be other cars going laps down, and really hard to get that lap back.
And then when we see them come back on track, what kind of pace are they going to be able to have at a short track here like Richmond? Those leaders can catch them, and some 5, 6, 10 laps sometimes, and then the rest of the field catching them as well. So we'll see what kind of pace those guys have when they get back on the track. As the lights are out on the pace car, we'll be going green this time by.
Yeah, Timothy Latham is going to lead them back. He's going to opt to choose that inside lane, liking the way that car is handling here on the line, which is pretty much what you got to run here at Richmond to really get that grip out of these things. And we'll see if Seth Berger can make it work here on the high side. So coming back to that Geico restart zone, Silverback Tax Solutions green flag going to come right back at in Richmond.
And it looked like Berger maybe broke a little bit loose there as Latham launched, and he's going to break out free. And this time the field gets through 1 and 2 complete.
Now they got to deal with 3 and 4, and they are 3 wide there coming out of turn 4. But right now we got a battle out in front as Joseph Causey gets by Seth Berger too. Goes to the inside of the 5.
Drives it real deep on Latham going into 1. Did a great job holding that speed and momentum down on the exit and into 3 and 4. Still looking down to the inside. Latham's going to pinch him down, not let him throttle up hard off that exit. It's going to keep the lead for now. How long is Causey going to fight? Not for very long. Probably a smart move there. It's early. Don't want to burn up the tires.
Oh, yeah.
You definitely let Latham know, hey, I'm here.
Yeah, you got to defend that inside lane, though, as Causey wanting to get back down there and make a run. But you're exactly right. Running that high line will burn these tires off quickly. So we'll see if they settle in here. But a good battle here between Drew Ballesteros and Scott Healy, 2 drivers I expect to do really well here tonight. Just haven't said Drew Ballesteros' name so much this season as I'm used to saying it when he was in the Xfinity Series, but right now he's having a great run tonight in the Cup Series, up to 6th.
And right behind there's another JW driver there making a pass. Is that Seth? Who's falling? I thought that was Seth Berger for a second, falling back that far.
No, Seth is currently running 3rd, but yeah, exactly right. This is Nichols right here, and Ryan Johnson just behind him going by, I believe that's Johan Seminario there in the pink 12. So Seminario having a 10th place run tonight so far. But just like that, 3 wide on the exit of 4. Not a good feeling. This is one of the oddest turns in NASCAR where it's just a really kind of sharp front straightaway where you got to put a lot of wheel into it. Ryan Johnson thinks better of it and gets out of it and goes to the inside lane there.
Probably a smart move there. He kind of pushed up a little bit, let another car get underneath him, and that's I'm sure Johan's got more than just the computer spotter there to be able to jump out that far. Knew he had 2 guys underneath him. Good driving there by all 3 drivers, not to cause another our second caution flag of tonight.
Yeah, great battle up here and up front. Causey still stalking our leader, Timothy Latham, as we've got a nice little green run underway as these 2 pulling out. Seth Berger about 4 car lengths back, and Brian McAvoy just steadily sitting there in 4th where he started here tonight. But right now, Causey putting the pressure on the 5.
He is all over the bumper of that 5 as they both are kind of running similar lines. Latham a little bit sooner into 3 and 4. Causey rolling it just a little bit more than on the outside. Uh, kind of a, similar lines, and they look content right now just to kind of roll along here and see who can save their tires, as I expect probably maybe a one-stop fuel run here, especially after that early caution.
And one of my favorite things about this battle right now is the fact that these two are used to this. They are so used to racing each other and racing for the lead at that, so it makes it that much more exciting. You know it's going to be a respectful battle, but it's going to be a battle at that as we ride on board here of the 5 of Timothy Latham out of Garrett Motorsports. Looking back at Joseph Causey, he's just trying to pick where he can get him here and see if he can maybe wear him down a little bit.
And that's a great thing I think that league racing brings to iRacing, especially a league like SRN with a lot of talented drivers, a lot of clean drivers. You do get to know each other. You do get to feel more comfortable around each other, who you can push, where, and that just, rises everybody's talent level and makes for really exciting racing.
Absolutely. So checking out further on back through the field, seeing what we got as far as that really exciting racing. And here's Ed Scherer to the outside of Matthew Dula here. We saw Ed kind of involved in that incident earlier. He's still back here in 22nd now to the outside of Michael Politis here. He's trying to make up some ground quickly, though. Kind of has to be patient. A long race here tonight, 160 laps to get it done. So I know Ed has run really well here at Richmond in the past. He's wanting to get that thing at Victory Lane. Has a lot of cars to do so as he's making a pass for 20th right now to the inside of Alonzo King.
He is on the move. We got kind of a 2-for-1 deal there on the outside. Now diving down the inside of King. Sticks the nose there a little bit, but decides to back out a little bit. Get a nice little run here off of 3 and 4. Now she'll pull right back up to King's bumper.
Ooh, look at the 41 got into the wall a little bit. Matthew Dula back there, and that's going to let Joshua Balliet go onto the inside and get a position from him. So Balliet making a run here in the SRN Buttkicker Cup Series here tonight. Our points leader over there in the Silverback Tax Series, having a great season here in Season 4. And he's used to running with these Cup guys. He spent a few seasons in the SRN Buttkicker Cup Series.
Yeah, these guys really starting to kind of line up here, and the field's going to stretch out just a little bit as Causey drives it deep into 3 and 4. I'm not sure if he was trying to make an outside move there, or I think he just overdrove it and may attack the wall there just a little bit.
Yeah, probably not going to be the last time here tonight. Just very easy to do. And I just don't know how to describe it from a racer's perspective down to like a viewer's perspective. Maybe you can a little bit better, but this turn 4 is just very deceptive where, yeah, it makes it seem like you have a ton of room, but the fact that you have turn in the wheel still just makes that car want to spin out on you like it's nothing. So these guys are dealing with that, the car washing up on them. We're going to see them get in that wall a lot here tonight.
The words that come to mind are throttle control. It is so imperative and important here at Richmond. Coming off of 2, where you get on throttle, it makes the car either extremely loose or extremely tight. As you'll see him here dive in to the corner, you'll see him get way off throttle, see those RPMs drop, and then where you pick it back up is very important. And then coming down here into 3 and 4, same thing, off throttle for a good long while, pick it up late in the corner, and then accelerate once you're never straight. That's a great point that you're bringing up, is you're always kind of on an arc here, but once that car's straightened up as much as it's going to get, that's when you can get back on throttle. If you get on too soon, you're either sliding the rear end up into that wall or you're looping it down in that end field way too easily. Yeah,
this will be a good view here. You're going to see him almost turning right here. A little bit of a better exit out of 4 that time, but he's definitely going to start feeling it here if we stay on this green flag run. But hey, he's maintaining the distance right now between him and Joseph Causey. Right now, this battle that we were watching not too long ago is still just all wadded up as Ed Scherer, wow, closes the door on right out there. He's going to move up to 19th now as the 45 continues his trek up to the front.
Yeah, keep an eye on him for the rest of the night. If we get another caution and bunch up this field, he is on the move right now, making passes inside, outside, kind of wherever he wants, almost whenever he wants right now. He is really moving up through the field.
Yeah, right to the bumper of Dave Fuge Jr. here in the 4 now. He's going to make it look easy almost. Looks like we got a crash back here. DuPont, he was facing the other way. He takes it right down pit road. And we stay green here at the Commonwealth 160.
Yeah, I saw Dula was getting a little loose. He straightened it out, and then obviously put the vehicle there backwards, so he took the tow. And now Latham's starting to stretch this out to a half-second lead over Causey. We saw how hard Latham was driving, sawing on that wheel, not only on corner exit, but also corner entry. So was Causey thinking, you know what, I'll give him enough rope here and let him burn up his tires, and I'll catch him back up. And Seth Berger possibly maybe thinking the same, but right now Latham is on rails.
So back here, the battle for 4th looks like it might be picking up between Brian McAvoy and Thomas Toomey here in the 11 machine. Haven't seen his name running up towards the front too much this season. So good to see the rookie out of Yellow Stripe Motorsports having a good run here in the first portion of the race here tonight, putting the pressure here on the veteran, the 79 of Brian McAvoy.
And McAvoy, this may be a difference of tires. At least last time, you see McAvoy's running a little bit higher line, a little bit higher, or a little bit arc there in 1 and 2, and it's allowing Tommy to kind of pull up to his bumper, but then McAvoy's getting the better exit out of the corner, and they're just he's kind of stuck there, in that same distance back, not really ready to get on that back bumper.
Yeah, so that's a good battle going on right now. Another good one right here between the 17 and the 61. Two drivers that are used to racing each other hard up towards the front, doing just that here tonight. This is for 9th and 10th right now. Reese to the inside. He wants that 9th position, but Lane Hostler wanting to defend after both of these drivers having a good run up through the field. Lane up 3, Reese is up 6, trying to make it 7.
This battle here is a great example of what Richmond brings. The inside, you can see, is a little bit faster. The outside, you can compete, but again, it goes back to throttle control. You don't actually want to roll too much higher. You don't want to really stay a lane up. You're really trying to keep cut off the exit and choke the guy down, not let them get on throttle. As you see more guys here, more comers and goers as tire wear is starting to become a factor here 34 laps in.
Yeah, Brad Herman, I think, playing the long game, only up 1 position from where he started here in 14th so far, but I think he's starting to make that run up towards the front with his Gear Up Motorsports teammates waiting up there, having a good run so far, but wanting a few more positions. Has Ryan Johnson just in front of him, who's a little bit off the pace right now, down 3 positions here, sitting in 13th, just in front of Herman.
Kind of interesting to see Ryan fall back 3 spots off the start. Normally we see him maybe not fall back, but kind of stay where he qualifies and methodically move up. But right now he looks like he's just his pace is kind of leveled off.
As we ride on board the 85 of Brad Herman, who's trying to run Ryan Johnson down, and our points leader at that. But, we've seen Ryan work it out here in these longer races and still has over 120 laps to do just that. So we'll keep an eye on this battle as well, see what else we got brewing out there too. Johan Seminario feeling the pressure from Adrian Schumacher here. This is for 11th.
I was kind of surprised Johan's back here, being as well as he's done on some of the road courses and everything, and kind of the way this track drives in the 2 corners. I thought this might fit with Johan's style here a little bit, but still fighting here for the top 10 in this good battle going on right now.
Yeah, so Schumacher gonna maybe think about taking the outside lane or just getting a run out of turn 2. I've run with him here in the Xfinity Series before. He likes this track, so expect to see that 82 make a run up towards the front maybe as these laps tick off. So back up further, we got Drew Ballesteros and Scott Healy really close here through 1 and 2.
Got Scott here in a JW sandwich between Ballesteros and Nichols. And he's going to look to the outside of Ballesteros, try to get that run, but that's going to allow Nichols to pull underneath him. They're going to stay kind of in the same 1, 2, 3 order heading down into 1 and 2. But these guys, look at all 3 of these guys are looking for just a little bit different line to make a move because all three of these guys seem stuck at the exact same pace right on top of each other.
Yeah, not sure what they were doing right there, but still a great battle, like you said. And Reese Schaefer coming into the picture now, too. He wants to get in on the mix here as he's had a great run up 7 positions after starting the night in 16. Wow, Ballesteros gets really out of shape there out of 2. That kills the momentum down the backstretch, and Healy going to take a look to the inside here, possibly take that 6th position back.
I think Ballesteros might have had a little bit of help there getting loose, but that's what happens here at Richmond. You get stuck behind somebody you feel that you're faster than, and you might get stuck behind somebody, and then as we see stuck beside him, as Scott gets down to the apron, clips that apron just a little bit. He's sideways and going to bring out the caution, and hopefully everybody's going to clear him as everybody's checking up for the yellow. This is going to be a hairy situation here for just a moment as the field comes around.
It sees it calm down, and he's going to get it going back around. He's got to get it going, though, before that pace car comes around. And that right there is going to put him a lap down.
Yeah. And he's just going to take the toe instead of trying to time it. Frustrating situation there for Scott. You get stuck behind somebody, and then you're going to make the move, and then you'll get stuck side by side. And he looks like he's got just
on the apron here, I think.
Yeah, he just got here on corner entry. Got down the apron once, twice, and then it just finally looped him around.
Yeah, that's all it's going to take, you too. So, looking like everybody's going to bring it down pit road this time here. Let's watch the battle here, hopefully. Let's see who gets the.
You did not want to see that caution as we were going through the field there. When we left the leaders, Latham had a half-second lead, and it was up to 2 seconds by the time that caution came out.
He was really starting to pull away, so that's got to give him some sort of confidence, though, once it gets closer towards the end of this thing. But the second caution of the night out here, see who's going to win the battle off, and it's going to be Timothy Latham, Causey, Berger. That's your top 3. McAvoy and Nichols getting the 5th spot out of this one. So as these guys come off pit road and get the grid back up in shape here, we're going to step aside and run a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere.
Want to be a part of an established league on iRacing? A league that's competitive, fun, and above all fair? Look no further than Speed Racing Network. Originally known as Mid-South Madness, SRN has evolved into a league that can bring the best out in any given driver. Drivers work their way up through the ranks to hopefully one day call themselves a champion of Speed Racing Network. If you're interested in joining, don't hesitate to reach out to league admins to claim your spot today. Maybe you'll end up in the history books. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor in Speed Racing Network, feel free to head over to www.speedracingnetwork.com and reach out to an admin today. And as always, remember to go faster.
With the Buttkicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Buttkicker, the future is feeling.
Silverback Tax Solutions specializes in dealing with IRS tax problems. If you are receiving threatening letters from the IRS, or if the IRS has placed liens or levies on your property, Silverback Tax Solutions can help you find relief. We have worked with hundreds of people to resolve their tax problems. If you're behind on filing your taxes, it's never too late to get on the right track. Silverback Tax Solutions can help with that also. Don't let another night go by where you lose sleep worrying about the IRS or your taxes. Head over to www.silverbacttax.com or call 662-996-4357 and contact an enrolled agent today. We can help you gain peace of mind and deal with those problems for you. Well, back out here just in time to see that pace car go down pit road and get the third restart of the night underway as the Silverback Tax Solutions green flag is waving once again here in Richmond.
Right away, Latham jumps out to the lead, puts Nichols and Berger side by side. Nichols gets loose on the fresh tires, keeps it on the bottom, checks it up, trying not to get back in the field, trying to keep it off the inside wall. I believe he's successful in doing both. Does not bring out the caution. Loops it back around and is going to get back going, but has fallen all the way back to the back of the pack. He's going to try to keep from losing a lap.
He was following so fast I couldn't click on his name there, so I was having trouble there. But yeah, really surprised to not see the caution come out here. I didn't know Richmond really had any zones on the track where that was a possibility. As wow, Ballesteros gets real loose there, battling Reese Schaefer there out of 4, and he's going to settle in back there in 5th as Reese now up to 4th here in the 17. Could this be the night he gets that win?
Always a sketchy time. Green flag, fresh tires. These guys just had a 30-some lap run. They were used to driving on older tires and get these freshies on, and until they get those heat in those tires, it can be real slick. And like I said, throttle control is huge. You saw Nichols kind of spin it there a little bit coming off of 2. And we've got another one in the wall. Now 2 in the wall as somebody gets tagged, the 85.
And that was Jordan Sailors as well there. So the third caution of the night out here. Looks like Brad Herman's going to try and get it going here.
No, we might have some I'm about to say we might have some toe linkage issues there, because that thing did not look like it wanted to roll forward and turn left for him.
Seeing a lot of drivers here involved here, including one name, Joseph Causey, caught up. So let's go ahead.
No. I'm sorry, Joseph.
Take a look here. This is Brad Herman's got Schumacher Shearer behind him. Just gets loose and loses it. Oh, and then something after that too. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can cue that up as well. So this is
really a really curious spot where he kind of lost it there too, kind of like in the middle of the corner. We haven't seen really anybody, get loose there as everybody stacks up. Causey gets tagged from behind.
That was weird.
Yeah. That was weird how they all kind of got squirrely.
Looked like almost a net code, but they weren't even close to each other here. So the 20 is getting loose, trying to get out of the way. Overcorrects. Oh, okay, so the 23 gets into the 88. All right, that makes it a little bit easier to see when you slow it down. Big hit there for Brandon Domain, though.
And Rideout and Causey go into a slide here. Rideout's trying to check up, but he gets into that inside wall. Big, hard hit there for Justin Rideout.
So riding on board here, this is Brandon Domain. See it get loose, and we've seen this happen in these cars many a time. Just the overcorrecting is very easy to do. So,
and it also this kind of happened to me last week as well, where you see that guy spinning on the outside. Your focus is on that guy coming back down on you, and then you've got cars underneath you. So as he's trying to come down to avoid the guy sliding from the outside wall, and then he realizes there's cars underneath him, just kind of overcorrect, and it's easy to do.
So while we got the time to do so, let's give you guys at home a rundown of the top 10 as they are here. Timothy Latham currently out in front of this thing after 54 laps completed tonight. Feeling pretty good about his chances in that 5 after one of his toughest rivals here tonight, Joseph Causey, getting caught up in that last incident. But Seth Berger, last week's winner, currently running in second. Definitely wants to get up here and mix it up with that 5 machine. See if he can make it back-to-back wins after a week off here for Thanksgiving. Thomas Toomey quietly making his way up into number 3, up 2 positions here tonight. Maybe going to come away with his first podium here in Speed Racing Network. And then 4th place, Reese Schaefer, who's just been making a tear up through the field, is going to have another crack at a restart here. See if he can maybe pick up a few more positions, and doesn't have many more to get here after picking up 12, like I said, so far. Drew Ballesteros He's in 5th place, even though that's the wrong picture. There it is. He has 2 positions after starting in 7th here tonight. Just to his outside as the pace car lights go off. That's going to be Johan Seminario in P number 6. Looks like in 7th, that's going to be Ryan Johnson in the 61 with Lane Hostler in the 61. Ryan Johnson right there in P number 8. I always get confused when they're like going back and forth here. Ed Shearer, he's in 9th. We've watched him make a trek up through the front, up 13 positions. And Adrian Schumacher is going to round out the top 10 here as we get this thing get ready to kick back off here with that pace car going down pit road. Silverback Tax Solutions green flag is back out here at Richmond.
Once again, we see Latham jump out to a big lead, gives him the angle he wants into 1 and 2. He'll roll through there nice and easy, and they'll stack up behind him.
Yeah, watch out, coming right at you here on the backstretch here at Richmond. And you see a lot of the guys fanning out here when those tires are still pretty fresh. This is when you can do it. Try to utilize that outside lane, but you got to be careful with those colder tires. So Latham gets about a 2-car length between him and the 77. Toomey right behind him, with the first battle going to be Drew Ballesteros here to the inside of Lane Hostler.
And he's going to have Ed Shearer right behind him with him. I think the story of this race is going to be Latham has jumped out to a couple big leads, but we've seen 2 guys here in the top 10 that have both moved up double-digit positions. How fast can these guys get through the rest of the field as Drew's going to make the pass here, and now Ed's going to look to the inside. Tell you what, Hosler is fighting hard there on the outside, doing a great job of pinching down, not letting him get the exit. He's going to make the pass, and now here comes Ed Shearer to tag right along.
Just didn't have a chance to defend that inside lane, and rightfully so by Ed Shearer to take that spot, because not many chances you're going to get to put your nose to the inside of a fast car like the 61. But you said we have 2 drivers here in the top 10. We got actually 2 more coming that have made double-digit positions up, one of which Joshua Balliet here in the 7. He's up 15 spots from where he began the night. Matt Dula here. Oh, wow, tight racing here as Corey Saucier goes by. Dula up 14, and hey, Corey, crashing the party. He's up 13, so all 3 of these guys making big-time runs up through the field. So a lot of big gains here tonight. I'm going to be honest, I wasn't expecting that here in Richmond.
No, not that many drivers. I knew we'd have a few. I knew we'd have a few, especially if we had a long green flag run of guys saving and everything. But it talks about how important track position and qualifying is. I mean, these guys are just fighting for every inch to have to come up through this field. Where Latham right now just had clean sailing and is able to drive away. But I mean, you see these guys just fighting hard here early on in this run to try to get every position they can as fast as they can. Because as we've seen, once the tires level off, it gets harder and harder. You get stuck beside somebody for laps on end. And Lane is just bad. That's just a sick feeling, getting stuck on that outside and continuing looking to get low, and just one car after another keeps taking that chance away.
Yeah, another one right here, the 56 machine of Robert Norfleet. He's up 9 spots as well. So, yeah, a few of these guys starting in the back, making their way up. He is one of them. He's got Ed Shearer just in front of him, who's still working on Drew Ballesteros, it looks like, and it's going to get the spot here. So Ed moves up to 7th now.
He'll move up to 7th, and he'll have the 43 of Ryan Johnson right in front of him. We'll see how fast he can get to the bumper of Johnson and put some pressure on our points leader.
So back out in front, Latham edging out a little bit over the 77, maybe out to a 2 or 3 car gap between him and Seth Berger. Toomey right on the bumper, though, of Berger. Berger's got his hands full with the rookie.
And Berger's trying to kind of take the similar line that Latham was driving, maybe thinking that Latham saw something or found something and saving those tires. But the only problem is the rookie behind him is going a little bit lower and kind of cutting that line off, and it's giving a chance. You can see it's kind of just inviting him to stick that nose underneath Berger. Berger fighting it hard off exit of 2.
Yeah, it kind of distracts you a little bit, too, as the guy that's trying to change your lineup a little bit in the 77, if that's what he's doing. it's distracting to have someone right on your bumper, especially at a short track. You know, you can get the bumper anytime. So Seth Berger really has his hands full with the battle at the 11 right now. And he's got that orange car back there, too, just quietly waiting. I don't think we're done seeing Reese make his run up through the field. I think he's just sitting back waiting to strike.
Oh, yeah, he sees how hard these two guys are driving in front of him. He knows that Latham just drove out to some 2-second lead earlier, so it's kind of a smart move right him to let these guys kind of fight it out, and then once he gets a chance, I'm sure he'll be ready to pounce. Speaking of pouncing, I believe that is Ed Shearer pouncing to the inside, so it took about 3 or 4 laps for him to get to the back bumper there of Ryan Johnson. Johnson's got a teammate, Ballesteros, behind him, so Drew's kind of laying back here. Is he going to let Ryan kind of tuck back in, or is he going to look to dive under Ryan and take that position as well? He's going to be content to let Ryan maybe fall back in line. Maybe not. Ryan's going to push hard back on the outside.
He's going to settle in behind him now, but I get upset sometimes that I can't have a little bit better equipment. I wish we could strap a camera right now on the 45 of Ed Shearer, because this is a great run up through the field. It's got a little bit of distance between him and the 12, but I have to imagine we will be seeing him right on the bumper of Johan Seminario before too long.
Yeah, he is moving his way up through the field. It's just a matter of how hard is he having to run, how fast is he burning off those tires to get there. Because he is not pulling away from Ryan Johnson as fast as he did some of these other competitors as he's worked his way up through the field.
So not even shifting there on the back straightaway. Kind of fun to see everybody's different strategies. I think you're going to see him shift here on the front stretch, though. Yep. So that
up to 5th, yep, down, but just for a split second up to 5th and then down into 4th.
Yeah, that little bit of curvature on the front straightaway adds a little bit of real estate too, so a little bit of a longer distance on the front straightaway, only needing 4th gear on the back. Curious to know if everybody else has that tip.
That would be interesting to see for fuel mileage, for saving those tires, downshifting, getting a little, the engine downshift, help the car rotate a little bit. You said he was shifting. I'm like, what do you mean? He's in 4th. Oh, yeah, these guys.
I know.
Almost got there. It still takes a little bit. Oh, yeah, these guys got 5 gears in these Cup cars now.
That's going to take a few years for me to get used to that. I was supposed to race these cars here this season, and that was my biggest worry the whole year. It was like, when am I going to blow up my engine for not getting in the 5th? But so far, everybody doing a great job, and a great battle here between Joshua Balliet and the 61 of Lane Hostler, as well as the 42 of Randy Nichols, who we saw running further up towards the front. He's back in 12th now, but wanting to get these spots back.
And looking like he may try to make this 3 wide, or at least thought about it for a second. And these guys trying to pass here on the outside, looking like they might make it work.
And Lane Hostler getting loose, just seeing the 42 really getting these runs, and he's going to send it right to the inside here potentially. The 61, Randy Nichols, trying to get back in the top 10.
Yeah, he's driving his hair on fire right now from that earlier loop, and he is just determined to get this thing back up to the top 10, top 5.
Yeah, you have a fast race car, you want it to be out in front right now. That's what Thomas Toomey's doing, is he's gotten it out in front of Seth Berger. We missed the pass, but he has taken over P2, and there's Reese Schaefer right on the bumper of his Tank Racing teammate. So great battle right now for second.
Great battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th tiers. We kind of expected that once that pass was made, it would kind of bunch up all these guys just a little bit, but still nobody looks like they really want to make a move, and Latham's kind of happy to see these guys fighting it out a little bit as he's just extending out that lead. Can Toomey cut this down a little bit and show that anybody has a long pace that Latham has? As right now he cut it down to 2/10 through that last corner, so he's at least catching up a little bit here on Latham.
Yeah, this is going to be important because this is around that time where we saw Timothy Latham kind of start pulling away from everybody. He had that long run car and didn't really look like anybody else had anything for him. But right now, Thomas Toomey, who we thought was kind of driving a little bit of aggressive race behind Seth Berger, starting to pull away from that 77 and run that 5 down as they head through turns 3 and 4. But as they come off of turn 4 and across the stripe here, making the halfway mark here tonight. Look at this field. Single file throughout.
Single file starting to spread out. We're, possibly started getting some lap traffic involved here in the next 10 to 15 laps. And right now, another one. Here comes Ed Sheeran. Every time you look back, there's somebody making a pass. Oh, it's Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, you can just assume that it's Ed Sheeran when you see a car. And you're going to most likely be right with how many passes he's made tonight. That's 18 positions gained.
Wow, he is just moving right up through the field. And it doesn't show any signs of slowing down. And right behind him is another car moving right up through the field that we've been talking about a lot. As Nichols now moves up into, that is going to be for 8th.
Yep, Randy Nichols up 3 positions, but up a lot more after the incident he was in. There's Lane Hossler making a great move to the inside of Norfleet just behind him. He's going to move up to 9th, put Norfleet back to 10th. It's getting pretty racy back here in the back of the top 10.
Absolutely, guys that drove it really hard versus guys that saved a little bit. This is the time where the tires start plateauing out. Those guys that save will have to add that just little extra to be able to make moves like this to the outside. As Ballesteros, I wonder if he just knew that Nichols was faster and said, here, go ahead and take it here so I can hopefully lose 1 position and not 2 or 3.
Yeah, who's in charge of team orders when the team captain is in the race here with Rideout Racing in the Cup Series here? So, yeah, he probably did just say go on by here. But all 3 of them having a great run here tonight. Ryan Johnson, Nichols, as well as Ballesteros. Kind of wondering if they know a little bit of something that these other drivers don't. And that's running about a half or a whole lane up more than the rest of these guys.
Yeah, they're taking a little bit, looks like a little bit wider arc, a little bit later apex. Probably, hopefully, maybe saving those tires, giving them a little bit straighter exit off of each corner. We have 1 car coming in.
Yeah, Reese Schaefer coming off pit road, yeah. So looking like we're going to have green flag pit stops potentially starting here. I'm not sure.
Possibly. So we're at 50 laps-ish since the caution. And this will be a great camera view here to kind of show you the difference of when we talk about the tire fall off. When all the cars are on the track, they're all kind of going the same pace the whole time. And then all it takes is one guy to drop down, get fresh tires, and you'll just see the absolute difference, especially through the center of the corners and coming off of these turns, just how fast and the closing speed that Reese Schaefer's going to have on this field.
Yeah, it's just a long way to go. You can make it to the end, I'm fairly certain, but that is a long way to go here. It's going to be interesting to see. I don't know what's happening right now, but you can see one thing for sure. He is blown by these guys.
Well, it could be a situation where he knows that everybody's got to pit and they could not make it. Everybody was going to at least have to pit 1 time. So it could be a situation where he's going to go ahead and pit now at the first possible chance to go the rest of the way. Know that he'll be the only car trying to get on and off pit road and hopefully be able to then make up the time here on the track. And then once everybody pits, of course, they'll be able to, have the fresh tires as well on him. But this is the pit entry here is kind of tight. So 4, 5, 6 cars are trying to get in there at one time. That could slow everybody down. He's figuring I'll make up more time here getting fresh tires and pinning myself. And you can just see how fast he's able to roll through the field.
Well, I don't know what happened. I mean, I feel like he shouldn't be 4 laps down. Also, he spent 25 seconds in his stall as well. So
yeah, so there was some damage there. I wonder if he could have been a situation where he maybe tagged the wall and got one of those really gentle meatballs that we all hate as a driver, and he was forced to come down to get some repair. But 25 seconds would indicate that he definitely had some damage that had to be repaired.
Man, fast race car too. Really behind the 8 ball after that. So 25 cars left on the lead lap. The last one going to be Justin Rideout there in 25th. Timothy Latham smooth sailing with a 1.3 second lead over Thomas Toomey. Seth Berger is falling way back. He's over 3 seconds back now. Shearer and Nichols, that's going to be your top 5.
It's just impressive to see Latham, the way he's just rolling around this track. Moving up, right there, he drove a little bit hard into 1 and 2, came out. You see the car was a little bit loose coming off, but for most of the time, his line just has not changed. And usually when you see the tire change, where everything else, the guys maybe move up a little bit, but he's just able to stay consistent on the same line around this racetrack and just really putting on a show.
Yeah, you can really see them utilizing that fourth gear here, getting down real quickly. It's kind of cool to see how they're making that work and help the braking. You can hear him downshift real quickly there. That's just helping them get the nose here into turn 1 and 2, and exactly like you said, just make it look easy out here tonight.
And it's hard to do. This track has haunted me. It's one of my favorite tracks. I've been here a bunch of times to watch races, but I just never figured this track out. And we see guys like this that just make it look so smooth. It's pretty impressive.
I mean, you look out in front of his windshield here, and there's not many cars around here for a while, so he might be able to tick off a few laps here, maybe put some distance between him and that 11 machine. So further on back here, this battle not going anywhere, though, between Ryan Johnson, Ballesteros, Seminario, Lane Hostler's back there. You got Norfleet. And don't forget about this guy. Joseph Causey was up here contending with Latham not too long ago. Has to come back through the field after getting spun. And here he is, up to 11.
Hello. I mean, that's what we've seen a couple of drivers do tonight. I saw Nichols able to do it. Now Causey able to do it. And you're starting to see guys push out to the wall. I think I saw Johan maybe tag the wall there about 2 or 3 laps ago. So it's getting to go time here as we reach lap 99 of this 160 lap race. And I did not foresee guys dropping back like they have and be able to drive up through the field like they are.
Well, they wouldn't have that chance if it wasn't for a great race here tonight by all these guys. I mean, 2 or 3 cautions that we've had so far. It's just, that's a great race at a short track any day of the week. So then that gives you that green flag run. It gives you a chance to get by these guys, and that's exactly what we're seeing Causey do now as Brad Herman just behind him. He's trying to make up some ground too. He was involved in a spin also not too long ago.
Absolutely. You get these long green flag runs, and at a track like Richmond where you get a lot of short tracks, it's just a one-line track. Yeah, the inside line is preferable here, but you can go too wide and you can make it last for at least a few laps. So these guys are doing a really good job of give and take and with some still good hard racing out there.
Wow, Brad Herman making that outside lane work. That car just rolled right around there. Got into the wall a little bit though, I think, on the exit of 2. Killed the momentum, but still right there. He's going to go right around the 88 and the 56.
What a great move there. He saw that the 56 was kind of slowing Causey down and saw how hard he had to check up and just went ahead and said, I'll just go around the outside here, and he's going to make the outside possibly work again on Johan.
Okay, just realized he's multiple laps down, but still only 5 lap older tires in these guys. He's making this car work right now, even though it's a little dinged up.
Yeah, multiple laps down, but that's only 5 lap tire difference. That's kind of hard to believe. He's moving it that fast around.
So Ed Shearer here, he's got a little bit of company now. And that's Nichols behind him in the 42. Bearing down now. A little bit of a different role for Shearer, who's been running these guys down. Now looking out the mirror and seeing that 42 get real big. Possibly going to make a move on him here in the next couple laps.
Yeah, how well is he going to be able to defend here on Nichols, who's been able to drive all the way back up through the field here, back into the top 5, now looking for 4th as these guys battle it out some 6 seconds behind our leader, Timothy Latham.
Yeah, Latham just checking out right now. Toomey, though, hanging in there. He's still 1.3 seconds back of our leader, Timothy Latham. Could he come away with his first win of the night here and maybe spoil the party? I can tell you, I wasn't expecting to see this kind of run out of the 11 here tonight. Not knowing much about Toomey, but right now, very impressed at a difficult track such as this.
He's done a good job. I mean, he's lost maybe, 4 or 5 tenths since taking second place to Latham, which, you're sitting, over a second behind. Doesn't seem like much of a victory, but considering that Latham was able to go from 5/10 to a second and a half to 2 seconds in some 10, 12 laps, it seemed like, at the end of the last run. It's definitely showing that he's got the long run speed as well to compete with Latham.
Seeing one driver come down, that's Matthew Dula, the 41 machine, the first lead lap car to make his potential final pit stop of the night. Could that open the can and maybe start the flood of drivers coming down? And it does.
And here they come. Like I said, it's a real tight entrance in there. He brings down those 3 JW teammates, it looks like.
Terrible camera view here, but yeah, you're exactly right. That was Nichols, Ballesteros, and Johnson joining him here. So each and every one of the JW cars coming down, and that's going to bring Timothy Latham on down, as well as Thomas Toomey, Ed Shearer, Joseph Causey, Norfleet also coming down. That opened the floodgates.
Yeah, smart move there by Latham. You don't want to let these guys short pitch you by, some 4 or 5 laps and give them the chance to make up that 2 seconds. Because if you're on the same tire as these guys, you're driving away from them. As this now Seth Berger coming into pit.
Yep, Berger is coming in, and that's going to give the lead over to Adrian Schumacher going on by here. He's going to get a lap lead and an extra bonus point here in the SRN Buttkicker Cup Series. I have to imagine that's going to prompt him to come down next time.
And that's what you might see a lot of these guys here that were running, back half of the top 10, get a chance to get that bonus point, and is somebody maybe going to try to stay out as long as possible, hoping that the situation that we have on the track right now, where you'll have some really fast cars with some cars that are sitting on some really old tires, and this green flag pit stops can sometimes cause a caution. So with somebody like Schumacher try to stay out as long as possible to try to pin these guys a lap down, and you see Latham get his laps back, and once kind of these guys get that lap back, kind of pit, of course, going to put them in a bad position towards the end of the race, but trying to take advantage of these guys and hopefully trap them a lap down.
Seeing Scott Kalal parked here on the apron. Real dicey moment.
Is what we're talking about, but no.
Wow.
Yellow. Wow.
Oh, and Dula.
Dula spins again into the wall. He's slow on the backstretch. That's still not bringing. Oh, he locks it up. I think the car's got damage, and it just spun right on him and locked it up. I think when he tried to slow it up there, the front end damage just took that thing to the right.
Well, that's going to pay off big time for Adrian Schumacher then. 7 drivers on the lead lap once that caution come out. Schumacher, Hostler, Balliet, Byron McDonald, Justin Rideout, Timothy Latham, and Thomas Toomey. Those are the 7 drivers on the lead lap. Everybody else going to have to take the wave around. So that changes things drastically. But let's go ahead and cue up that admin box rec replay here and see exactly what happened. We saw it live with Dula, but see if we can get a better look on the blimp cam here. So this is pretty far back. I think he's just battling a loose car after coming off a pit road. There you see. Yeah, I think he had some left front damage there, and it just completely steps out on him there.
Yeah, I think once he had that damage and got up to speed and then was trying to slow it down to get that pit entry, I think the damage just kind of yokes right on him.
So we'll watch the battle.
Yeah, so the strategy paid off. Stay out there, try to trap as many of those guys down, a lap down as long as you can, and hope that yellow flag waves. And for Dula, what a frustrating night. It's we saw him spin at least twice, maybe 3 times there off of 2, and that last one just the nail in the coffin.
So Schumacher going to lead the cars off of pit road. The ones that did go down pit road, we got a lot to settle here as far as scoring goes. So we're going to step aside real quick, run a quick commercial break, and come back with our 5th restart of the night, and hopefully a field that is in the right order. Don't go anywhere. Silverback Tax Solutions specializes in dealing with IRS tax problems.
If you are receiving threatening letters from the IRS, or if the IRS has placed liens or levies on your property, Silverback Tax Solutions can help you find relief. We have worked with hundreds of people to resolve their tax problems. If you're behind on filing your taxes, it's never too late to get on the right track. Silverback Tax Solutions can help with that also. Don't let another night go by where you lose sleep worrying about the IRS or your taxes. Head over to www.silverbacttax.com or call 662-996-4357 and contact an enrolled agent today. We can help you gain peace of mind and deal with those problems for you.
With the Buttkicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Buttkicker, the future is feeling.
Want to be a part of an established league on iRacing? A league that's competitive, fun, and above all fair? Look no further than Speed Racing Network. Originally known as Mid-South Madness, SRN has evolved into a league that can bring the best out in any given driver. Drivers work their way up through the ranks to hopefully one day call themselves a champion of Speed Racing Network. If you're interested in joining, don't hesitate to reach out to league admins to claim your spot today, and maybe you'll end up in the history books. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor in Speed Racing Network, feel free to head over to www.speedracingnetwork.com and reach out to an admin today. And as always, remember to go faster.
Well, back just in time to see the Silverback Tax Solutions green flag waving once again here at Richmond. Latham gets out to a great lead, and you saw it there under the brake. A lot of the guys trying to scramble back around. It's really going to separate the field here as those wave-around cars were kind of a little bit behind here on that restart.
Yeah, but they're going to have a lot of speed and momentum as they catch this field that's trying to get up to speed. But one guy that's gotten up to speed real quick is Latham. All night, nobody has been able to figure out how to keep up with him on these restarts.
Yeah, so Latham, Toomey, and Hostler, that's going to be your top three here as we near the lap 120 mark. That's the three-quarter mark here of the race. Balliet side by side further on back here with Byron McDonald. This is shaking up the whole field. We got Byron McDonald up here in the mix now in the top 10, battling for a top 5. Last week's runner-up there, Aaron Gerwitz, he is the first car one lap down, so you're going to want to keep an eye on that 9 as well. He's currently running in 21st, and just behind him, they're 3 wide.
No surprise tonight. These guys are racing hard these last 40 laps to make up these laps. Try to get back the hard way if you can, or at least fighting for the lucky dog in case another caution comes out. And right now we're actually seeing somebody give a little bit of a large rear view mirror picture to our leader, which we haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, Latham has been smooth sailing. He's built up the gaps there on these long green fronts, but Toomey has that short run speed here, which could come in handy here with less than 40 laps to go. Hostler, though, not wanting to be forgotten about either here in the 61. He looks fast as well.
It's not just that there's 40 laps. It's the sense of urgency. I would think of your Thomas, you know how fast Latham is now. He's just kind of gradually grown that lead. So if you just get any chance, you're going to take it right away. You're not going to try to lay back and, okay, I missed that one, but I still got, 30 laps to go. I would think they want to put as much pressure on Latham as they can right now. And if he just slips up a little bit, got to do everything you can to take advantage of it and put Latham behind you. He hasn't he wasn't in dirty air long. He's had clean sailing for most of this race of sticking behind you and see how he likes driving behind somebody for a while.
Yeah, so these two were out in front here before that caution. Stayed out, though, to get that track position back after getting that lead lap back after that cycled out under their pit cycle here. And those two cars there, the 61 and 82 and third and fourth, have 6-lap fresher tires as we have the 5th caution of the night. Looking like it's going to be Brian McAvoy turning around on the backstretch.
So far, he's the only car I see involved. He's able to turn around and get going before the pace car comes around.
So here's the admin box rec replay. A little help from the 57. That's going to be the product of 3-wide racing here sometimes, as you saw Scott Kalal on the outside there.
Yeah, it looks like McAvoy, as we came onto the camera there, was coming up off the apron.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he kind of little optimistic on that corner entry, and it really had to check up and slow him down, and fortunately the 57 kind of gets underneath him.
And kind of finished them off, too, at that.
Yeah.
So that's all it takes. Sometimes here at short tracks, a little bit of bump sends you down pit road looking to get some repairs, but a little bit of a mixed bag of strategy here. We got about 10 or so cars on pit lane. You got Seth Berger, Joseph Causey, as well as Nichols, who's going to win that battle off pit road. Ed Shearer coming down. So some guys opting to get fresher tires here. Could be a big deal once we get down to the end of this thing. Nichols is going to come out here in 10th in that 42.
Yeah, you're looking at the scoring pylon. You figure, okay, where's someone to come out as 10th, and I'll have a lot fresher tires, and that could be the difference. Nichols was able to work his way up to the field several times tonight on older tires. I can only imagine you'll be able to do it, even faster on fresher tires.
Yeah, so a little bit of shaking up top 10, but no surprise out in front. He's been the dominant car all night. It's the defending series champion, Timothy Latham, and his Rays Energy number 5, currently leading with 33 laps to go. Just behind him is going to be the rookie Thomas Toomey in the 11 machine, who's had a very solid race here for Yellow Stripe Motorsports tonight. They are going to be very proud of his performance in the SRN Buttkicker Series race here at Richmond. And last in here on the podium is going to be the 61 of Lane Hostler. He was a Final 5 driver in the playoffs last season, so they know what's up when Lane Hostler gets up towards the front, so they're going to keep an eye on that 61. Adrian Schumacher, who was the benefit of that caution, sits here in 4th with a few more positions just to get in front of him. He's going to look to maybe make a run. Joshua Balliet here in the 7, up 23 spots here tonight after starting 28th. He is in 5th position. Byron McDonald here in the 35. He is sitting in 6th place currently after staying out as well and being a benefactor of that caution. Rob Norfleet in the 56. He's going to be in 7th. Another good run, up 11 spots. And behind him, started 8th, currently running 8th. That's going to be the 12 of Johan Seminario. And Corey Saucier, we saw him in that first incident here tonight, has made his way back up to 9th, up 18 spots after starting in 27th. And we just talked about him, the man with the freshest tires on the track and the best track position out of those cars is going to be Randy Nichols, rounding out the top 10.
And Nichols is going to have to be super aggressive, and we've seen him loop it a couple times, getting aggressive on these restarts, but he can waste no time with only 30 laps left if he wants to try to get any chance to get up here to Latham.
Yeah, you can see him back there trying to get the heat in the tires, and he's going to need to get as much as he can because, like you said, he's going to be reaching for the stars, I guess you could say. But that's Silverback Tax Solutions. Green flag is waving here again. Latham has just been killing it on these restarts all night, out to another good jump over the rest of the field.
And most of the time, the second and third place guys were able to kind of get single file, but this time we're 2 by 2 all the way back through the field, as Latham was be very happy to see that in his rear mirror.
Lane Hostler on the attack here to the inside of Thomas Toomey. Toomey clears him, goes down to defend that inside lane. Lane going to try and make another attempt. Oh, and that's Nichols.
He bounces off the wall, keeps it going. He was driving hard making that outside line work, trying to just get every position he could as fast as he could. Kind of came in a little hot there into 1 and 2. I believe he got into the wall there a little bit.
Yeah, let's see exactly what happened. I'm going to go back live.
You can see him just making that outside line work, coming up through the field, and just
sent it in there a little too hard.
A little too hard. May have had the brake bias down just a little bit too low for those fresh tires.
Look at this.
Oh,
Johnson!
There's going to be contact. Johnson around. His teammate Ballesteros is trying to let him get it corrected. They're going to get together, and that's going to put 3 JW Racing guys all tangled up in there. I see a 4th there. Big wreck involving several drivers here.
Yeah, so we saw it happen there with the JW cars. Another incident a little bit ahead. Sky Healy, let's see. This is what brought the caution out.
Yeah, Johnson got loose almost in the same fashion that we saw Nichols on the outside. And then once he gets loose, everybody starts checking up and starts getting a little wonky going through the corner.
Yeah, so looking at this just from this image, you know it's not good.
It's not good. It's not good.
It's 4 wide there going into 1. It's just Corey washes up a little bit, clips Johnson there.
Yeah, so Johnson got a little bit of help. Ballesteros trying to stay off of Johnson, unable to do it. Then Nichols comes in.
Oof.
What a frustrating night for JW Racing. They've had guys, at times 3 of them in the top 10. Nichols has been a yo-yo tonight, kind of up and down, up and down.
Oh, boy. Well, 6th caution of the night, just like that. And we got some banged up cars now. Significantly, them still out in front with 21 cars here on the lead lap. So I don't know if we're done seeing these cautions here at this point.
So does that mean Berger is the highest driver on the freshest tires, if you will, from our last pit cycle?
He would be, and just behind him is Alonzo King, another one that went down pit road the same time. He's had a great run up through the field as well. I feel like that's all I'm saying here tonight is a great run up through the field. So he's currently in 9th, just behind Seth Berger, like you said, with those fresher tires.
Well, let's see if they can come up through the field for these last 7 spots and put some pressure on our leader. The first thing the rest of the field has to do is figure out how to keep up with Latham on these restarts.
Yeah.
He is just launching out.
It's funny. You thought my first impression was, these restarts will become a lot more predictable once we went to the Geico restart zone, but still, you can't really tell, and he's taking advantage of it here tonight. He is working these guys here because he has clearly won every restart here on the evening. So let's just go ahead and refresh everybody's minds here on what the playoff standings look like at this point, halfway through the SRN Buttkicker Cup Series regular season. Ryan Johnson with the 92-point lead here tonight. We just saw him involved in that incident back in 15th, so he might lose a little bit of ground there on that cut line. Schaefer also involved in trouble. Causey also involved in trouble here. So a lot of big names in some dire straits here tonight. So Berger could make up some ground here on this top spot. You got Hostler, who's having a great run back here tonight. Latham in 8th, who's been needing a great run. A lot of these guys needing great runs here tonight, trying to separate themselves from the rest of the field.
And a name you don't see on that pylon there is our guy in 2nd, the rookie, Thomas Toomey, who could have a big night and get himself right near that cut line and start making a name for himself here for the rest of the season.
Yep. So we'll see if he can get it done and maybe come away with that shocking win here tonight. So definitely stay tuned for that and come on back next week. Well, a couple weeks from now. This is where it gets really confusing. December 13th to be exact, and check out the SRN Buttkicker Cup Series race live from Talladega for the Talladega 195. That'll be the next time these guys get out there on the track. So the pace car heads off down pit road, and that's Silverback Tax Solutions green flag waving once again. Latham once again getting 2 or 3 car lengths on the rest of the field.
Oh, Toomey tried his best to time it, kind of mistimed it a little bit, and then got a little overzealous when Latham jumped out, kind of spun the tires a little bit, and that really cost him, as he's going to be 2 by 2 back through the first 3 rows behind Timothy Latham, and further back than that.
Yeah, they are side by side. You would think they're at a little restrictor plate right now with how side by side it is through 1 and 2, but right now nobody side by side with the leader. Latham out about 0.3 of a second. Toomey separates himself from Lane Hostler. He gets second. Hostler settles in for third, but further on back, it's starting to heat up here. Byron McDonald to the inside of Robert Norfleet.
Berger's just boxed in there on the outside behind the 56. He is just frustrated. You can see him trying to look anywhere he can. He knows he's got the fresher tires to try to work his way up. But right now, just can't make a move. Kind of stuck behind guys 2 by 2.
Gets in the wall.
Yep, guys looking to buy anything he can. But and then Ed here looks like he might make it 3 wide. As they're going to fan out just a little bit, make it 2 wide coming off of 2.
Yeah, this is the battle between the guys with the freshest tires and Shearer going by King. That's going to be the battle for the lead out of those guys. The 80 not going to want to give up this position, but Shearer, he's going to take it regardless.
Yep, and I believe Berger's going to finally be able to make a move on him to the inside. I think it's right along the Ed's bumper and come up through the field there as well. As Shearer knows he doesn't have much time with these tires to make moves, and he is putting the bumper to everybody and you know, moving this thing up. And right behind him, Berger pushing King up high.
Ooh, you got Johan Seminario sandwiched back here in the middle of 3 wide action. Really rubbing doors with the 79. They make contact.
And that was Berger and King in front of them making a little bit of contact as well. So we almost had 2 wrecks kind of simultaneously happening on the backstretch. Berger still looping it around.
Man, we're getting a lot of 2-for-1 action here tonight with these wrecks. Let's go ahead, cue up that admin box wreck replay. This is going to be Seth Berger, who was on the inside of Alonzo King here.
Oh, and it was actually King just kind of got a little squirrely and came back down on Berger. I thought Berger maybe those two maybe ran out of room, but Berger was actually giving them plenty of room there coming off the corner. He just got a little loose.
And this is Ryan Johnson's perspective here.
Oh, he gets tagged going around. It's a bad feeling. You see those cars clear around you and you think they're safe, and all of a sudden, nope.
Yeah, so watching it from one more angle, it's kind of 2 wrecks for 1 here. Both, it's kind of simultaneous net code almost with those 2 guys really leaning on the other guys beside them.
I tell you what, if we got time, if you want to go into 2 Ballesteros' in car, it looked like he was dodging everything just barely.
I can do that.
Dodges that one, comes around, dodges this one.
Oh,
wow. Hey, Dak got a little bit of damage there on the front left at the end of it. But all things considered, I think he'll take that.
Yeah, that's kind of takes you back to Days of Thunder almost.
Yeah, you can
driving
do
through
it,
the smoke.
Cole. Drive through it, Cole. You can do it.
Oh, man. So just like that, we're down to the end of this thing. 7th caution of the night, 14 laps to go. And some big names out of this one. Right there, Seth Berger, damaged up 77 after a good night for the first 140 so laps.
Talladega on the horizon, not the kind of night these guys wanted, because things happen fast and they happen big at Talladega. Kind of hoping to come through this race with a solid finish and if nothing else, a clean race, so that just in case you get caught in anything at Talladega, you're not having to burn 2 drop weeks these 2 weeks.
Yeah, you got to set yourself up for these things, and a bad night here is going to lead to a stressful night next week once we get out to some super speedway racing. But we're going to run a quick commercial break, come back with the exciting conclusion of tonight's race. Don't go anywhere.
With the Buttkicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Buttkicker, the future is feeling.
Just like that, we're going to get this thing kicked back off here with 11 laps to go. The pace car heads down pit road, and that's Silverback Tax Solutions green flag waving once again here at Richmond.
This time, Thomas Toomey able to get a little bit better restart with Latham there, at least able to clear the rest of the field and tuck in behind Latham. Can you get close enough to put a bumper or at least make Latham think about it in these last 11 laps?
Yeah, I don't know what to keep my eyes on. We got a great battle for the lead, a great battle for third as Adrian Schumacher goes to the outside. It's 3 wide further on back, and we got a caution, it looks like.
This is why it's called the action track.
That'll do it
Oh,
when you have a
Steros
car
around.
turned around like that and gets a little bit of an extra kick right there to the front nose.
I think that may be one of those frustration kicks.
Frustration at a short track?
No.
Never.
Especially for these JW guys, they've had a tough night.
Yeah, after what was a good night to start, having some trouble here lately. This is Ballesteros 3 wide. That might have been a netcode issue there with the 9 of Aaron Gerwitz. Saves it and then turns it up there into the wall.
And then you've got to get it turned around as fast as you can before the field comes around, in particular that pace car, and gets it down the inside wall.
Yeah, I'm trying to look and see if I have a better camera here. No, they made contact there.
Definitely contact, yep.
Just can't get it saved in time, and at that point the damage was done. Man, if only they had coined a term for this, like cautions breed cautions or something. Someone could have made millions of dollars off of that.
Put that on a t-shirt, will you?
I think I might just do that. I don't think there's anything like that before.
No. Million dollar idea right there.
So there's Drew Ballesteros back in 20th position now, and not going to have a lot of time to work with here to maybe make up some ground after running very well here this evening. Timothy Latham still out in front. Thomas Toomey, it's kind of perfect with the name there. He's in number 2 for Toomey there. And he wants one more, though. Lane Hostler sitting P3. That hasn't changed for quite a while now. Schumacher, though, was making a great run for it there in the 82 machine. Could we see him on the podium here tonight in the SRN Buttkicker Cup Series? Haven't seen him on there since winning at the Chicago Street Course race a few weeks back. Ed Shearer, who we've seen make a just tremendous run through the field, kind of fizzled out once he got to the top 5, still sits there in P number 5. Joshua Balliet making his first run of the Cup Series season here tonight in that 7, currently running P6. And hey, there's that 88 of Joseph Causey. He's up to 7th and wants a few more positions after battling it out early on with Timothy Latham up front. Rob Norfleet in 8th. That's Ryan Johnson, who we just saw involved in an incident not too long ago. He's back up to 9th. and Byron McDonald's going to round out the top 10 here.
So while you were going through the field, I thought of another great saying, like, practice makes perfect. That would probably be a good one to put on a t-shirt too. But Thomas Toomey has had plenty of practice on these restarts, trying to keep up with Timothy Latham. Did a little bit better job last time. Was able to tuck in line and get a little bit closer. If he can just make it a little bit better, can he get to that outside? Can he get that get to the bumper of Latham?
He's going to have to get to the bumper of Latham. Otherwise, he's not going to have a horse in the race here, because Latham, like you said, just making it look very easy out there running the line, and he's only got to run it 5 or so more times around the circuit as you see those pace car lights go off, and we get the 1-to-go signal to get the field gridded back up.
And the last thing you want to do if you're Toomey is put the bumper to Latham that causes a caution. He's having a great night, a great point night for him, and we saw, we didn't see him on the towards the cut line. So don't want to ruin a great points night as well. You always got to keep that in mind.
Yeah, and you can speak on it as a driver and just about everybody else. It's hard to come by wins here in Speed Racing Network in any of the series. So when you have your chances, you got to take them here. Battling one of the best since last season's champion. This is the one to get here, so we'll see if he can do it with 4 laps to go. That Silverback Tax Solutions green flag waving here again.
And Latham did a great job there, just kind of sensing the field, checking up behind him, and launches off into 1 and 2.
Oh boy, I don't think this is going to work. They're 3 wide further on back here. And they do.
There we go, yes.
Lane Hostler.
Per barrel, and now we have a new guy in second. Here's Hostler, and don't look now. Here comes the 45 of Edge.
Oh, Ryan Johnson.
Somebody gets loose into the outside wall. No caution. How did those guys all clear out of them? I saw him like a rocket turning up to that outside wall.
Seminario, and I think we're about to have a big mess on our hands here.
Oh yeah, so Ballesteros getting turned. Oh, this is starting. I think this is starting to turn into one of those Saturday night local track, and I think there's a lot of guys here back in the field, kind of with some frustrations here.
So the admin box rec replay out once again here, and I want to start with Ryan Johnson.
When I saw him dart to the outside wall, I thought for sure he was collecting majority of the field behind him.
Yeah, so this is him coming out of turn 4 here.
I was able to just kind of kiss the wall slightly, get it corrected.
And then just in front of him, King gets into Seminario.
Lane, yeah.
Ride out up into the 65. Everything else is history after that.
It just became an accordion effect, like you see, traffic on the highway. Some guys moving up through quickly, and some guys checking up.
What's the common theme here tonight, Nick? Whenever we see a picture like this, it's not been what?
It's not good.
Not good.
Tell me there's going to be a wreck without telling me there's going to be a wreck.
Yeah. So it's happening in front of these guys. They're not even the problem, and eventually just running out of real estate for all these drivers.
Another common theme is, unfortunately, JW drivers involved.
Yeah, there was a good 3 of them there, I think, involved in that one. So it was a promising night for JW. Not so much anymore. But this is going to be our first stab at a green-white checker here. Don't go anywhere. We're going to run a quick commercial break.
Want to be a part of an established league on iRacing? A league that's competitive, fun, and above all fair? Look no further than Speed Racing Network. Originally known as Mid-South Madness, SRN has evolved into a league that can bring the best out in any given driver. Drivers work their way up through the ranks to hopefully one day call themselves a champion of Speed Racing Network. If you're interested in joining, don't hesitate to reach out to league admins to claim your spot today, and maybe you'll end up in the history books. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor in Speed Racing Network, feel free to head over to www.speedracingnetwork.com and reach out to an admin today. And as always, remember to go faster.
Silverback Tax Solutions specializes in dealing with IRS tax problems. If you are receiving threatening letters from the IRS, or if the IRS has placed liens or levies on your property, Silverback Tax Solutions can help you find relief. We have worked with hundreds of people to resolve their tax problems. If you're behind on filing your taxes, it's never too late to get on the right track. Silverback Tax Solutions can help with that also. Don't let another night go by where you lose sleep worrying about the IRS or your taxes. Head over to www.silverbacttax.com or call 662-996-4357 and contact an enrolled agent today. We can help you gain peace of mind and deal with those problems for you.
With the Buttkicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Buttkicker, the future is feeling.
Well, pace car lights are off. It's heading down pit road once again here. First attempt at a green-white checker as the Silverback Tax Solutions green flag waves once again here. And Latham gets out to a good jump. Lane Hostler defending second, though. Thomas Toomey wants it back.
Oh, Lane doesn't know where to defend. High, low. Toomey's looking low. Ed looking high. He has no clue which guy's coming. They are both coming with a head of steam as they go 3 wide for a second.
This can't end
Can
good.
we get to the white flag? We are there. This race will be official on the next flag as these guys still 3 wide for a second.
All 3 of these guys on different strategies, and this is paying off the best for Timothy Latham as they are trying to sort it out. Shearer takes second, Toomey to the inside, but no one's going to be contesting Timothy Latham for this win out of 4. The 5 brings it down and wins here at Richmond.
What a run for Timothy Latham, and what a show those guys put on for second place. Amazing job, 3 wide, hard fighting back there for second, but Latham, he made it look easy all night long in those restarts.
Getting some congratulatory love from his competitors out there, one of which was Joseph Causey. Got to give him a shout-out, ending the night in 4th place after having to race his way through the field like we saw a lot of these guys do here tonight. But it's this man's time here in his Dodge Charger, his Raise Energy Dodge Charger out of Gear Up Motorsports. Latham is your winner here tonight.
Well-deserved donuts here. Mentioned it, 5-6 drivers driving their way up through the field, up and down, up and down. This man just stayed up front the whole time. Only had to move up 1 position from where he started, and once he got there, there was almost no looking back.
Making it look easy as he's doing the burnouts. Something he's very familiar with here in Speed Racing Network. So let's head up to the blimp while he finishes out his celebrations and give you the final order here tonight. Your top 20 presented by Buttkicker. Timothy Latham, he's your winner. He's your man celebrating down there on the front straightaway right now. Thomas Toomey, a valiant effort, comes home in second out of Yellow Stripe Motorsports. And Ed Shearer races his way up to third. Made it exciting there at the end, but 2 more positions left to be gained for that 45. Joseph Causey comes home 4th, with Lane Hostler rounding out your top 5.
Randy Nichols drives his way probably for the 3rd time back up to the 6th. Great recovery from him tonight. Adrian Schumacher and Joseph Balliet 7th, 8th. Robert Norfleet and Byron McDonald rounding out your top 10.
Yeah, then you got Michael Politis in 11th, Brian McAvoy in 12th, Corey Saucier, great run back up through the field. He comes home with 13th. Gerwitz, he's in 14th. Drew Ballesteros comes home in 15th. Brandon Zimmerman in 16th. Ryan Johnson ends the night in 17th. Johan Seminario comes home in 18th. Looks like 19th is going to be Dave Hughes Jr. with Alonzo King rounding out your top 20 here this evening. So a lot to get to, but right now we're going to go ahead and get some post-race interviews, try to track down Ed Shearer and bring him on up to the booth after a great run here this evening. Found him. Let's bring him on up. Ed, it's Greg Olenek and Nick Halda. Welcome to the SRN Buttkicker Cup Series broadcast booth, man. Great run. It was fun watching you all night long. Tell us about your race out there in that 45 tonight.
Well, first of all, I am drenched in sweat because that was probably the hardest I've ever driven for a P3. And second of all, that's just, I guess, me. I'm going to be a Kyle Busch kind of style. That's just me driving through the field, I would say. But, I mean, most people here know I'm a really aggressive driver, and I was really disappointed with how I qualified. I just never qualified that terrible here. And I think the incident with Byron was completely my fault. I just didn't expect a checkup that bad. It's just then finding the patience to drive through the field and getting the cautions at the right times and sometimes at the wrong time. But, I mean, this 45 car is just on rails right now, and I just feel like, we got tracks in our favor coming up with Talladega in 2 weeks, and I just think that we're going to get another win added to that illustrious one win that we have. So, see what goes on, man.
You were amongst a handful of drivers that were kind of yo-yo in there, kind of working their way back up to the field. But talk about those last 3 laps. That was a heck of a job by all 3 of you guys there fighting for second and third, 3 wide through most of those last 2 laps. It was pretty impressive, hard-charging run there.
Yeah, it was stressful, to be honest. I was really worried with that green-white checker that we had there. I was just hoping that I can clear the 11 and the 61 fast enough to where I could get Latham. I just felt like I had better pace than Latham. I just got the cautions at the worst time. I felt like if I had maybe 1 or 2 more green flag laps before those cautions, I would have been able to clear them and hopefully get a shot at Latham. I just felt like I had maybe a little bit better pace than him towards the end there, but I just never got the track position I needed. But yeah, it was fun racing with Lane and Tom there. That was crazy. I was trying to hope that Tom knew we were 3 wide. I was giving him nudges on the front straightaway to tell him that we were, but it was just really good, hard racing, which is why I enjoy doing, and hopefully put on a show for the fans and for you guys in the booth. I had a couple moments. I had a save on the front straightaway that was crazy too, so it was a wild night for me.
Yeah, we had a great time watching you, as always, here. Great run here at Richmond. But before we let you go, Ed, and celebrate with your teammates, you got any friends, any family, any sponsors you want to give a quick shout-out to?
Yeah, I just want to shout out GameStop for sponsoring me throughout the year. I mean, it's crazy to have such a sponsor like them to sponsor me for this whole season, which is awesome. I also want to thank 213 Simware, who makes great apparel for us at Tank Racing. Also, 3Chi, Devin Zimmerman, and Invader Zim Designs, RJ Bishop Designs, who makes my cars and makes them look great all night. Burgard's Designs, Healthcare Billing, Hunter Don Anesthesia Associates, Tank Racing as a whole, all my teammates, Emerson, Seth, Causey, and Reese, and everybody that helps us out. And basically, you guys in the booth, as always, for putting on these shows, and Sean and Tripp for allowing us to do these races every week. And hopefully it was a fun one for you guys tonight.
Yeah, it was a great one, man, and we look forward to seeing you out at Talladega in a couple weeks. Have a great night, and we'll see you then.
Yeah, thanks, boys. Appreciate it.
All right, so that was Ed Shearer, your third-place driver here tonight. Let's go ahead and bring the runner up and bring Thomas Toomey up to the booth. Thomas, it's Greg and Nick Halda up here, up in the SRN broadcast booth. Congratulations on the runner up here tonight in your rookie season. Tell us what was going through your mind as you were battling some of the best out there holding on.
Yeah, that ending was crazy. All of our tires were towards the end of their life, and so I think everyone was holding on and pushing. I think it's really really easy to get loose off of turn 2 and turn 4, so everyone was pinned there at the end and kept it clean, which was really fun.
So talk about kind of running up there with those top drivers and, trying to you did a great job there working your way up those 3 spots to get to second, and then just trying to do everything you could there to catch Latham.
Yeah, everyone had really good long run pace. I knew going into this race that was a weakness of mine, so in the practices beforehand I tried to see what worked best for saving tires, and I found a little bit of pace I think in the middle of the race, but Latham just pulled away, so I knew at the end my goal was just to try and finish right behind him.
Yeah, you did a great job there in the middle. You were definitely one of the few guys that were even able to keep some of the pace that Latham was showing.
yeah, it was fun keeping the tires alive. The track rubbered in and started to come alive.
Well, Thomas, as a newcomer up here in the booth, we're always excited to talk to anybody new to SRN. But before we let you go, you got any friends, any family, any sponsors you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, just want to give a shout out to my team. A big thanks to Yellow Stripe for helping me out, and then a shout out to our sponsors, RPM Transmissions and Premier Racing Setups. Awesome, man. Well, once again, congratulations on a heck of a run here tonight at Richmond, getting so much closer to getting that first win here in SRN. Go celebrate with your Yellow Stripe Motorsports teammates, and we'll see you in a couple weeks out at Talladega. Awesome. Thanks, guys. All right, so good to talk to Thomas Toomey here for the first time this season. So let's go ahead and get to the man of the hour. What do you say we bring Timothy Latham on up here to the broadcast booth? Someone we're used to talking to. Timothy, congratulations. A hell of a run, man. It seemed like you led every lap out there tonight. That car seemed to be on rails here and just looked to be really comfortable. Is it safe to say this is one of your favorite tracks?
Absolutely, man. I love Richmond. It's always been one of my favorites. And, running here with a bunch of different cars, there's a bunch of different lines you have to take. And I'm pretty good at adapting at this track. And we did it. I don't think there's anything they can hold against me this time. So I think we got this one secured. And, I'm glad to be back at Victory Lane again.
So, Timothy, when and where do I sign up for restart classes? Because, cautions breed cautions, and towards the end there you had a lot to deal with, but restart after restart after restart, you were just jumping out on these guys every time.
Yeah, I mean, I try to change it up in the restart zone so they don't try to predict where I'm going to go, and pretty much every time it usually works out. So that and not buzzing the tires too much. I think on the initial start there, I think Seth buzzed him a little bit. We went green, and that allowed me to get by him on the first lap and lead that one. So since then, man, it was just a cruise out there. I was having fun. I had fun with Toomey there behind me. Lane was pretty close. Causey was pretty close till he got speeding on pit road. Man, it was a blast holding those guys off, and proud of the team effort tonight too. We got 4 out of our 5 guys in the top 15, so we did a good job there too. Well, Timothy, before we let you go, you got any friends, any family, any sponsors you want to give a quick shout-out to before we head on to Talladega? Yeah, of course, every week I want to thank Rep Sports, Rage Energy, G-Pop, all those guys that allowed me to do this. We got Gear Up Apparel, Gear Up Motorsports, the team. We had a hell of a team effort tonight. I know some of our guys started in the high 20s, and they made it up to the top 15, so congrats to them. And thank you guys for putting on the broadcast each and every week. I appreciate it. I'm definitely going to watch this one back and see what it looked like from your point of view. Awesome, man. Well, it was a great show out there. A lot of great racing here tonight, and a great run by you in the 5. So best of luck when we get out to Talladega in a few weeks, but enjoy it. You got a whole week off, and, you get to have some fun. Yes, sir. Looking to repeat at Talladega this time. Hopefully we can do it. Awesome, man. Well, best of luck when you get out there, and have a good night. All right, appreciate it. All right, so that was our top 3 here, Nick, and that's going to do it. Just like that, we're done with 160 laps at Richmond. These boys are off to Talladega next week, and we're off to Talladega tomorrow night as well in the Truck Series. That'll be a fun one.
Get a little preview of what these Cup guys will be doing on the 13th, and a lot to think about for those guys going into get to those super speedways to where it's a race that everybody feels they can win, and you see everything ramp up. So it'll be a great track to go to after another little off week here.
Yeah, so definitely come on back tomorrow, same time, same place. Hit that little like button. Hit the subscribe button and hit that bell so you know exactly when we go live for the TJ's Team Truck Series tomorrow at Talladega. But that's going to do it for us tonight here at Richmond. Timothy Latham is your winner after a dominating performance here in the SRN Buttkicker Cup Series. So for myself, everybody behind the scenes, Nick Halda, all the drivers, just pretty much everybody here at Speed Racing Network, we sincerely thank you guys for taking the time to stop on by and watch tonight's production. So we wish you guys a good night. Stay safe and go faster.
something low.